Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Collver.
This isn't bad music.
folks, as you have been watching John Collver flying his magnificent S&J called Wardog, let me tell you a little bit about the maneuvers that John is doing. These are the same basic maneuvers that are taught to the student pilot going through Do not attempt these below 5,000 feet of altitude. The S&J is a heavy airplane, weighing 5,800 pounds, and once it builds up momentum, particularly close to the ground, sometimes it's a little bit hard to stop. You've got to know what you're doing, and that is exactly why that Mr. John Collver, that you see putting together such a seamless aerobatic act, is quite capable of. As I said, it was built in 1944. It immediately went to the Marines. The airplane was based at El Toro. Shortly thereafter, it moved to MCAS Miramar. It also served for a short period of time as actual sea duty on board the carrier U.S.A. Cabot, based out of Florida. This was an airplane where the trainee, the student, took his first trap, as they call it. That was the days before the decks were big enough to allow them to just utilize the speed of the ship and the wind. And that was about all, except for catching the wire at the end of his landing to stop the airplane. 600 horsepower, 5,800 pounds, a 42-foot wingspan, a length of 29 feet 6 inches. The maximum allowable speed, 250 miles an hour. But like most Navy aircraft, a very, very slow landing and stall speed, 64 miles an hour. This airplane, without a doubt, had one of the longest histories in the inventory of any service, and that was, of course, the Air Force, the Navy, the Coast Guard used it, and of course the Marines as we all know. It used to be a favorite, what they called a hack. Normally one would be highly polished sitting back. That was his airplane. Well, this airplane, the WD on it, for those of you who were not here yesterday, let me explain. El Toro had a base symbol, which was the bull. Walt Disney designed Ferdinand the Bull, strictly Marine Corps Air Station, El Toro. And in honor of that, all of the airplanes based at El Toro featured WD for Walt Disney on the tail. This airplane still retains that very same paint job. John shortened the name to Wardog. In the phonetic alphabet that we use as pilots, W would be whiskey, D would be Delta. But Wardog will suffice for this airplane. I think it is wonderful that John keeps the airplane in such pristine condition and flies it in air shows in this country. Now watch as he completes his inside roll, as the landing gear extended at the top of that roll. And he should see two green lights in the cockpit, one for the right-hand gear, one for the left-hand gear. The tail light has no light. It automatically it stays out. It's not a retractable tail wheel. Now John with the gear out, adding a little power coming around the turn. Now the smoke you see, of course, as I said, has been added for the benefit to enhance his performance. It's a paraffin-based oil that is not injurious to you, me, flora, or fauna. It dissipates and burns off before it hits the ground. So to all veterans. noise that you actually hear from the airplane is not the engine, it's the propeller. It's the propeller with the tip blades going supersonic that cause that sound that you hear. Now John comes back on the power. Right now in the cockpit, his attention is his airspeed, which he lowers down to about 110 miles per hour. At his left knee was where the landing gear lever is. And right behind that is the flap lever, which he will put clear down for 100% flap. Now John, the speed slowly dissipates down to about 100, down to about 90. You know, they say you could always tell the status of the student or the people when they were flying these in the military. On final, if you were married, you used about 110 miles an hour. If you were engaged, you used about 100, and if you were single, you used about 90. Well, okay, John comes down making a beautiful one-wheel landing, keeping the tail up by a little bit of forward stick, keeping the stick forward, and the tail will come down into zone as it loses speed. Throttle now is clear back in the closed position, and there we have the tail come down. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a nice big round of applause for John Collver and Wardog.